Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the gift segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at newlifeministriesinternational.com and newlifeinternationalcdc.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And so I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, you can tune in every day, Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time by Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear. You click on the New Life link, every broadcast will be available to you. And now you can listen to our new internet radio station, WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at rdo.to/WKAP, or go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear, you will find a link, WKAP at RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. We are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing music that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. And we've got a few things that are going to be added to the broadcast that we're going to be working on over the next few months. So just stay tuned, stay with us, enjoy our new internet radio station, WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio, 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are concerned about your finances now that inflation appears to be peaking. And you want to know, how do you keep your finances on point? How do you keep from struggling financially? You know, first of all, let me say this. One of the things that I've said often on our broadcast is that we have to save and invest. So you can't save your way to wealth, but you can save and invest your way to wealth. You can't, listen, you have to save and invest. So here's the key. If you're saving and investing when times are different than the times before, you have money in reserve to be able to do things that you need to do to sustain yourself. Most importantly, you've got to trust in the Lord. You've got to realize that the sky is not falling. Contrary to popular belief, Are prices going up? Absolutely, there are some prices that are going up. We are coming out of a pandemic, so we're enduring what we like to term as pandemic pricing in many cases. So let me just make sure everybody understands. You just have to be more strategic with your purchasing power. You're going to have to implement a strategy that's going to allow you to adjust to pricing. So, the reality is that there are certain things we're just not going to think about because we're going to find it necessary to do them. So I'll give you an example. The price of gasoline has gone up. We still have to drive our cars. You're not going to change your driving habits because the price of gasoline has gone up. In other words, if you have to drive your car every day to get to the office, you're going to drive your car every day to get to the office. Now, you might want to find some more effective route to take. So, here's the reality. Let me walk you through what that looks like. We just have to change some things up. So, there was an article that my wife and I discussed some time ago, and that is how, I don't remember if it was UPS or FedEx, but I think it was UPS. Let me just say this. So they found a way that they only make right turns. And the reason is because if you're making a left turn, you've got to look in both directions. This doesn't imply you shouldn't look both directions when you're making a right turn because somebody could be coming over in your lane. You've got to be, defensive driving is important. But if you come to a stop and you make a right turn, you only have to really focus on the cars that are coming from your left. And if it's a four-way stop, you've got to look at the person who's in front of you at the other stop. But what they focused on was making right-hand turns because it saved them from idling, sitting in one place, burning fuel while they're waiting for cars to go in both directions. So they avoided making left turns. And to do that, you have to be strategic about where you're going. So one of the things, the reason my wife and I had this conversation is, it was more about time than it was about burning gas, but it has the same effect. We always chart out where we're going before we go. In other words, you want to make sure that you're making a loop that allows you to hit all of the places that you need to go in a pattern that will allow you to make right-hand turns and that will allow you to get back home because it will reduce the time that you have to be out on the road. It's about being more strategic with everything. So you're not going to stop buying gas because everyone needs to be mobile. So we're not going to stop buying gasoline, but the price of gasoline has gone up. So the idea is when you're out on the highway now, instead of burning fuel, because some people like to drive faster than the speed limit, when you do that, you're burning more fuel. So you just go the speed limit. There's things that we can do if we're being more strategic to ensure that we reduce the amount of gas that we're burning. So you fill up, because when your car is full, you're going to find that the cost of you filling up your tank is going to be reduced. And then in addition to that, you have to be strategic about every place you're going. Save gas, save time. Or save time, save gas. They're synonymous. Now, watch this. It's the same thing about purchasing. So you want to make sure that you have a list when you go to the store, that you know exactly what you're going there for, and that you purchase exactly what you go there for, and you don't impulse buy. So, I'll use another example. We like to shop at Nordstrom's. We're Nordstrom shareholders. We want to get a return on that investment, so we like to shop at Nordstrom's. And we go to the King of Prussia Mall. We're not shoppers per se. So we schedule a time that we're going to go to Nordstrom's, because we don't need anything, but when we need something, we try to make sure we schedule it at the right time to go to the mall. But we park outside of Nordstrom's, and we go into Nordstrom's, get what we need, and we come out. We're not going to walk around and look for something to spend money on just because we want to spend money. If we don't need it, we're not going to buy it. That's the key. The key is not to impulse buy. Make sure that you know exactly what you want to accomplish. Before you go to the store, you'll spend less money. You'll purchase exactly what you need, and you'll be out of the store. So you can reduce your spending by making a list or knowing exactly what you're going there to purchase. Next thing is, I said, you don't want to impulse buy. So watch this. For those of you who are grocery shopping, don't go to the grocery store hungry. Because if you go to the store hungry, inevitably you're going to impulse buy. We've all done it, but we've got to be more efficient in doing it. So one of the other things, and you may have differences in your household about this one, I'm a firm believer of buying non-perishing items and storing them up. My wife doesn't like a lot of things stored up, so she would rather just have 2 of everything, whereas I might like to have 5 of everything. The reason is because I know prices will inevitably go up. Prices go up on everything, and so she just doesn't like a lot of things stored up. But I'm a firm believer, non-perishables, you purchase them now because inevitably prices are going to go up, and now pandemic pricing has gone up, and do you have those items already stored up where you paid for them at a lower price? So that's something you can do also. I'm just giving you tips. If you're like my wife, you may only want 2 things stored up, but that's a conversation and sometimes a debate, not an argument, but a debate that we have about strategic purchasing. So the reality is we've got to be strategic about everything. And right now, purchasing, prices have gone up for everything. There may be some outliers, because one of the things I've told listeners and viewers who, if you own a business, I've said very clearly, don't raise prices just because you can, because you'll alienate your customers. Price it based on the increase of your cost of supplies, your cost of servicing your clients. You might have to increase the price there, but you don't increase it because they've increased their price 20%. You're going to increase your price 40%. That's a problem that's going on right now in the consumer market. Everyone's, again, not everyone, there's some outliers, but companies are saying, well, if my supplier is pricing me 20% more, I'm going to add on another 20% and get mine also. So I'm going to now increase by 40%. And that's pandemic pricing. You're going to alienate your customers and you're going to lose customers. We want customers and clients who are going to be with us for the long term, not for the short term. And that we really have to look at that. We really have to examine how to, client retention, customer retention is important. And the longer we can keep them, the more opportunity we're going to have to build our business and be successful. So we've got to take that into consideration. So first and foremost, you got to trust God. God knows exactly what he's doing. And when we delight ourselves, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself with my Sunday sermon, he's a rewarder of those who are seeking his way and his will. So we've got to make certain that everything lines up with the way of God, the will of God, and the word of God. And right now, we all see the pricing is increasing in many areas. Interest rates are going up, cost of goods are going up, cost of services are going up. But if we've saved and invested, we can adapt and adjust to the increase, knowing that eventually things are either going to be sold on sale, or the revenue, salary structure, the hourly rate for those who are on the hourly rate are all going to increase, and it will adjust. These are all circumstances of life that we endure at various times. This is all part of the economic system. This is all part of the trends that occur in the economy from over periods of time. Some of it due to policies and procedures that have been put in place by government, and some of it pure and simple by the market itself. But if you've done what I've been encouraging everyone to do, which is trust in the Lord and save and invest, you'll be fine during this time. Your finances are not something that you really need to concern yourself with. It will all be well with your soul. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you're not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So there's another example of ways to be strategic and save money. If you are a T-Mobile customer, or if you're not a T-Mobile customer, we will help you become a T-Mobile customer. You can attach a credit card to your account. You will receive a discount per line on your bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So you have to look for ways to reduce your cost of living by being more strategic. It doesn't say you have to disrupt your quality of life. It just means you have to be more strategic on how you're going to go about living your daily life. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have been overeating and drinking way too much. So you've been drinking and eating a lot with your friends, and you really do not know why or how you are going to stop. So let me begin by saying this. Some people are emotional eaters, and some people are emotional eaters and drinkers. Some people are just social at social foodies and drinking with their friends. You are, we're going to talk about the health and wellness component in a moment, but you are a social eater and drinker. So you go out with your friends and you eat too much, you drink too much. You also go out too frequently, too often. So you're always looking for something to do. And when you go out with your friends, you all eat a lot of food and you drink a lot. Now, you may not be eating as much as you think you are. You're just observing how much food you and your friends are ordering, but you are eating a lot because you're doing it frequently. And you drink a lot. You all are out drinking, and you think because you're drinking, cocktails that have cute little names, that you're not drinking overindulging, but you are. And you finally, here's the good news. The good news is you recognize it. You finally have come to the realization that that's what's going on. The problem is you all are going out too much and eating and drinking. That's why you're eating and drinking too much, because you're going out too often. You all are going out every time one of you picks up the phone and says, there's something you can do, or there's something you want to do, you all are out. So you are, listen, God allowed me to see in that secret place of the life of your group. And I will tell you this. You all are out eating and drinking about 5 days out of the week. You are out every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then you generally go out in the middle of the week on Wednesday. Sometimes you're out on Mondays. You all are always looking for something to do. And because you're looking for something to do, you're going to find something to do. And it's not just about overeating and drinking, it's also about your health and wellness. Because just because you're drinking something that's got a cute little name to it doesn't mean that you're still not poisoning your body. Alcohol is poison. It is eventually going to create health and wellness issues. It's going to lower your resistance, so you're more susceptible to getting sick. Now, I know someone told me once, they said as long as they were drinking, they never had a cold. When they stopped drinking, they got a cold. But the reason is because the resistance was much lower. It had been worn down by the alcohol. So the reality is that you've got to take into consideration your health and wellness. You've got to say to yourself, okay, I'm drinking too much and I'm eating too much. You're not overweight, but you eat a lot with your friends. You all are, you're foodies. So you think, again, you think, we're foodies, we're eating food that isn't really going to be detrimental to us. It's not like you're out eating a gallon of ice cream, but you're still eating too much, too often, because you're going out all the time. That's not going to benefit your health and wellness. And you're out drinking. That's not going to benefit your health and wellness. So you've got to take that into consideration. You've got to decide, how can you be more effective with your health and wellness? And the way to do that is going to simply be by taking some days off. In other words, and you're going to save a lot of money. Let me tell you why. If you just decide, I'm only going to go out for brunch on Sunday. I'm not going to go out to the clubs during the week. I'm not going to go out drinking with my friends during the week. I'm not even going to go out on Saturday night with them. I'm going to go to brunch after church on Sunday. You've reduced your social time from 4 to 5 days a week to 1 day a week. That's going to, first of all, have an impact on your quality of life, and second of all, it's going to have an impact on your health and wellness. But you have to be willing to do that. You have to be willing to give up some of your social activity to do that. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to eliminate your concern about drinking, eating too much and drinking too much. You've got to really focus on your health and wellness, and you've got to focus on making some change in habits. Listen, you might have to get a new set of friends. You really may have to, not because you don't love them, but because the friends you have now are people who want to be out all the time doing whatever it is that you all do when you go out 4 to 5 times a week. I can promise you that's not going to enhance your quality of life. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need: shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. I'm in Charles Tyrwhitt attire today. And if you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt from ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are comfortable right now where you are in life. However, your husband is constantly pushing you to go to the next level, and you want to know, why is that necessary? So the reason that's necessary, and this is, I'm going to keep this very simple. The reason that's necessary is because God has not appointed for any of us to become complacent in our lives. God is always moving us forward. In Him we live and move and have our being. In Him we live, we have life, we have it more abundantly, we move, we're constantly moving forward, running the race, pressing for the mark, and trying to get to the finish line by fulfilling the purpose that God has placed in all of us. So, and we have our being, which means we have a great quality of life. And in order to build a great quality of life, we have to be willing to put in the work to get to the place that God has appointed for our lives. That's why your husband continues pushing you to go to the next level. He doesn't want you to become complacent. You say you're comfortable. It's fine to be comfortable being uncomfortable, meaning stretching ourselves. It's fine to be comfortable and satisfied for the moment where we are. To God be the glory. We are all getting to a place in our lives where we are comfortable with our lives. But that doesn't mean that we should stop moving forward and stop growing. We've got to seek the next level in God. There's a stairway to heaven, and that stairway is the next level, every level that God has appointed for all of our lives. This segment of the broadcast, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast, has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. I look forward to being in your viewing environment tomorrow. Remember, we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live, we are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com.